Hi Bobcats, this is Miss Lee, and today's video lesson is on area of parallelograms. Please make sure that you're taking good notes as you're watching this video. Okay, well, first of all, how can we find the area of a parallelogram? And what exactly is a parallelogram? Well, this is a rectangle. In our previous video, we talked about the area of a rectangle. What we can do is we can cut off a corner of our rectangle, and we can take that piece and move it to the other side. And what shape does it become? It becomes the parallelogram. So parallelograms have some of the same characteristics as a rectangle. Opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are congruent, meaning their lengths are the same. The difference is that with a rectangle, all of the angles are right angles. That's not true with a parallelogram, is it? But talk about the area. When we went from a rectangle and we cut the piece off and moved it over here to make a parallelogram, did it affect the area? No, it stayed the same, right? When we cut this piece off, we didn't throw it away. We kept it, just moving it to the other side. So it still has the same area, which means we can use the same formula for the area of a parallelogram, which would be area equals base times height. Let's talk a little bit more about parallelograms. It's really important to know, first of all, if I come down here, the base is still, there's two bases, like a floor and a ceiling. So I'm going to put the bottom as my base. Now, what's interesting is the height. When you go to a doctor's office and you get like a physical and they put you on the scale and they say, okay, we're going to weigh you. Now let's see how tall you are. Do they say, okay, I need to see how tall you are, so I need you to stand at a slant? No, they tell you to stand how? Straight. Stand up straight. That's because the height has to be perpendicular to the base. The height has to be a vertical line that matches or touches, reaches the base. This is perpendicular. The vertical line, horizontal base. And they make two right angles. Okay, that's going to be your height right here. It's that line that is perpendicular to the base. When I look down here at my parallelogram, I see a side length right here. But is that perpendicular to the base? Is that standing straight? No, that's slanted. So yes, it is a side of your parallelogram, but it is not the height. So usually you're going to see the height in two different ways. One way, it's going to show you inside the parallelogram. There'll be like a dashed or a dotted line like you see here, and it goes from the highest point of the parallelogram and it goes straight down vertically to the base. It makes that right angle. Usually you'll see the little square for the right angle. That's going to be your height. That's one way they'll show it, is inside the parallelogram. Another way is on the outside of the parallelogram. It'll show it, it'll still go from the highest point of your parallelogram with a dotted or dashed line straight down, and then they extend the base with a dotted line to show that it is perpendicular and it makes that right angle. This is another way to show it on the outside of the parallelogram. So when you have a parallelogram, if the height is slanted, you don't use it. You look for the perpendicular, the straight height. Let's do some practice problems. The length of the base of a parallelogram is 22 inches. Of course, we're going to annotate. And the corresponding height is h inches. So we don't know the height, so we're using the variable h. Which formula can be used to find A, the area of the parallelogram? First thing you do, write the formula. Area equals base times height. Now plug in what you know. I don't know the area, it stays in A. Do I know the base? Sure, right here. The length of the base is 22. And I'm going to multiply that by the height, which is h. So which answer choice, which equation looks like this one right here? It is going to be B. You can definitely get rid of A because addition is not part of our formula, nor is subtraction. And this one is half of 22h. So yeah, they're still multiplying 22 times h, but they're taking half of that. The formula doesn't show anything about multiplying by half or dividing by 2. So it can't be the D. So B is your answer. Okay, let's go ahead and do our practice problems. Formula, area equals base times height. Equation, the area is what we're looking for, so it's going to remain an A. The base is the bottom length, right here, 20.8, and multiply it by the height. So I have two other numbers. One of these is the height. The 13 centimeters is the side of the parallelogram, which is not straight, so it cannot be the height. The height is going to be this outside straight line that is perpendicular to the base, so this is the height, 12. So 20.8 times 12. So go ahead and pause the video, do your math, come back and check your work. Okay, did you get 249.6 centimeters squared? If you did, great job. If you didn't, I did do my math over here so you can take a look to see where you made your mistake. Okay, let's do one more example. Determine the base of a parallelogram with an area of 18 square inches and a height of 2.5 inches. Okay, so we know that it has an area of 18 square inches and a height of 2.5. Let's go ahead and draw a picture. So we know with parallelogram that there are two sets of parallel lines, so we know that the bottom and the top are parallel, but I don't want to draw them even. I want to draw the top line, and I'm just going to do the bottom line. I'm going to start a little bit more to the right, so it kind of looks like that. Then connect the ends to make the sides, and there's your parallelogram. So we know the area is 18. Since the area is the inside, I'm going to write it 18, area equals 18, and the height. Well, the height is that straight line that's perpendicular to the base, which is neither of the sides. So we're going to have to draw it. I'm going to draw it on the inside over here. The top of my parallelogram, I'm going to go straight down to the base. And then I'll make my little right triangle square. This is going to be my height. So this is the height, which is 2.5. Okay, now that I have it modeled, I can go ahead and solve, write my formula. Always do that. It is so much easier to work with when you have the formula in front of you to view. Replace the variables with what we know. We do know the area. The area is 18, so I replace the A with an 18. The base I don't know, so I'm going to leave it a B, and the height is 2.5. Okay, now we're solving our equation. Our variable is not isolated, so we need to do the inverse operation of multiplying by 2.5, which is going to be to divide by 2.5. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. Okay, on the right side, my 2.5 divided by 2.5 simplifies to 1b, or just b. And now let's divide. Typo, right? Top in, bottom out. The 18 goes on the inside of the house, and on the outside goes the 2.5. As you'll recall, we cannot divide by a decimal number, so we have to move the decimal point one place to turn it into the whole number. What you do on the outside, you have to do on the inside. So 18 is a whole number. There's the invisible decimal point. Now we move it one place to the right. There's our new decimal point. I'm going to bring it straight up, annex a 0, and now we can divide. 25, every time I see 25, I think of quarters. If this is $1.80, this is a quarter. How many quarters make $1.80, or will go into $1.80? It's going to be 7. 7 quarters is $1.75. Subtract 5 remainder. I can keep dividing by adding a 0, bringing it down, and 25 goes into 50 2 times. So 7.2 is my base. Put my dimensions is 7.2 inches. And there is my answer. All right, great job, Bobcats.